Wills and Carolyn, it's lovely to see you both. And you have got Honey, your dog there. Can we get a peep of her?
Yes, we can. Here she is.
Oh, she's lovely.
The Laurel Lives.
She's lovely. She looks lovely and glossy as well.
Yeah, it's the salmon oil that we were
Beautiful.
advised
Well,
for
she
them.
looks very content, I have to say. And Wills, I know that you have just finished your stint as a lollipop man. And that's
Yep.
a good job to have because you're keeping the children safe as you see them across the road. Have you got to know many people doing this
Yes, I
job?
have. Yes, I have. Maybe about 60, 70 children and the parents. Manners Road, St. Nicholas School, Crosby, North Liverpool. And I've been doing it since 19th of March. Yes, it's a good job. Very responsible,
Yes.
being right into the community, attached to a local church as well, with Vicar Bev, who's the vicar, and they do lots of outreach. Thursday afternoon, Thursday morning, they do like a cafe, and it
Right.
is really, really good. And it's the Lord that has given me this job, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a job I could do maybe for years and years and years. Being a heart
Sounds
of the
good.
community, yeah,
Yeah, that's good. And I know you like to be part of the community. Now,
yeah.
Carolyn, you were a dentist, weren't you? How
Yes.
long were you a dentist for?
Oh, about 38 years.
Wow.
I worked mostly in the community dental service, but that's sort of salaried position in health centres, where they have district nurses and health visitors and people like that. I also did a bit of part-time ordinary general NHS practice for quite a few years, for about 20 years, ended up about three different places.
Sounds
So,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, well, it's not
um,
nice having toothache, and I have to say, you have reminded me I must put the dentist because I've got two teeth that need sorting out and soon.
mm,
Well, what I'd really like to know is how you're a married couple, and I'd like to know how you both become a Christian. And I'm going to go to you first, Carolyn. How did you come to know the Lord?
well, I was brought up in a Christian home, and I thank God for that. Very godly parents in a fairly sort of traditional Anglican, middle of the road sort of Christian upbringing, but um, sort of in generations back, quite a few of my ancestors were like deacons and priests and things in churches. Um, so very strong Christian background, and my dad had always been brought up with his family family prayers, and so we had family prayers in the evenings anyway, not always in the mornings, of course, going to work and going to school, but I was brought up with that and always going to church at least once on a Sunday. And then I was confirmed when I was 14. And it's gradual sort of coming to know the Lord, really, especially through the teen years.
Yes. Yeah, that's lovely, Carolyn, when the Lord speaks to you and you have your own personal savior, because we can't rely on our parents' faith. We have to find God for ourselves, shall we say. We can't rely on them for that. But it's lovely that you've got Christian family. What about you, Wills?
Yeah, I was brought up in Dorchester, Dorset, Thomas Hardy, and I went on a kibbutz in Israel, aged 20, and I met four born again Christians on a kibbutz in Enat near Petah Tikva, Tel Aviv, in October 1983, and that's one of them called Greg was telling me about Jesus, and and told me his testimony, and that I accepted the Lord there and then after a few days. I'd always believed in God. I went to a Roman Catholic boarding school, and that's what really happened, really. how I came to know the Lord, and I do believe that the Lord did appear to me once when I was in the 70s down in Dorset. I was doing something in the garden, and I looked and I saw the Lord looking at me from over the field, and there was two angels beside him. And then I looked one, two, three, and once I looked for the third time, he was gone. And it's a really, really vivid appearance that I don't hardly ever share this, but I do believe that God was calling me then in the 70s, and that's how I came to know Jesus. And I'm been to Bible college, Peterhead in Scotland, with the Camerons in the 80s, and I was baptized in the Spirit. And my heart is for evangelism, telling people about the Lord. And I've been to so many different green belts and Christian festivals that the Lord has kept me on the straight and narrow as well. And I just love Jesus, telling people about Him and street path evangelism, and we all try to stick close to Jesus, and whatever we do, me and Carolyn now, and we met as in December 2018 in Houston Station through like a Christian dating agency, and that's how we had a long sort of distant relationship. I went to Liverpool, London 263 times until we got married, and
Wow.
then the Lord brought us together, and that we should get married. So we got married on Friday, the 6th of July, 2012, at a beautiful church called Sefton Parish Church. It's one of the most in the thousand beautiful churches in Britain. It's only about 2.5 miles away. And then we were like living two separate places, Liverpool and London. Then in July, I moved up here permanently. And my father was born in Molly Hill, Liverpool. My mum's Welsh, so I've like come home. I do not miss London at all after 31 years, as Liverpool is my home.
That's wonderful. That's a fantastic experience that you had about seeing the Lord and the angels there as well.
Yeah.
Wills, how do you feel the Lord has helped you in your life?
It's staying close to Him, reading the Bible each day,
Yeah,
and loving Him, and spending time, and also I do quite a lot of different Bible studies along the way, and I am growing in the knowledge of the Bible each day, as we'll never get to know all the Bible when we'll know all the Bible when we're in glory in heaven anyway. And I like to be on fire for the Lord and try and lead like a holy life unto the Lord, really. So a bit, yeah. So yeah.
yeah. That's great. And Carolyn, back to you now. I want to ask you, you feel that faith is important in your life. How do you feel you keep close to Jesus personally?
Well, yeah, I've always been tried to do a Bible reading morning and evening and pray. Don't feel I'm very good at praying. It tends to be rather short. But we sometimes take part in online prayer meetings and things, particularly in recent years, the online Zoom prayer meetings with Intercessors for Britain. And also, we're members of Good News for Everyone, and they have occasional online prayer meetings as well as regular business meetings with our small local group. And we've got quite a bit to do for that organisation, really.
Yes. So you mentioned about prayer there. Well, the Lord hears our prayers, whether they're long prayers or short prayers. And it is
Or
good
even
to,
our prayers to the Lord,
that's right.
our prayers as well.
Yeah, that's right. And
Yeah,
the Lord
actually,
communicates.
I've had to pray a few emergency prayers at work over the years. Lord, help
Yes,
me get this very difficult tooth out and things like that. Or help me
I'm
to.
sure you have as well, because it can't always be easy. And these situations do come up. Now, in closing, I know that you both have such a big heart for the Lord in evangelism, and you have spoken about this. And Wills, I know that you have mentioned you have juggled the balls and you have done
Oh yeah.
spinning plates.
Yes, I have. Yes, yes, I have juggled, juggled juggling clubs, and also balls in the air. I have done fire as well, but that's my past. But I need to revisit it. But my forte now in love, I was art, doing watercolors and drawings and everything like that, and that's a way to express the Lord as well. But there's also clowning. I've done Christian clowning with a guy called Rolly Bain. He was the only Christian clown in England, but he passed to glory about 5-10 years ago,
All right.
and it was absolutely brilliant. So it's in my heart as well. And I'm also involved with In Another Place with Annie Spears, based in the Strand, and it's like a Christian drama group. They do like loads of different productions, don't they, Karen? Tell me a bit about those.
Yes, they. I've actually today I've got on a T-shirt that when they were doing Narnia in St George's Hall, and they did that about 3
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Enormous productions actually. And,
And Alice
Amazing.
in Wonderland, and also the
the nativity plays every year usually. Yeah.
And I think it's great that you can be used in this way. What about you, Carolyn? Are you like Will's in the forefront there, or are you different in your ministry to Will's? What do you feel?
Well, I'm very much on the support team, not leading. Yes, I'm not naturally a person who sort of steps forward particularly. So it's something I've got to learn to do a bit more of, really.
Well, you're doing that now, I have to say, by doing this interview, Carolyn. But it's good to be the backup for your husband and support, because probably without your prayer support for Wills and without your support, it would be more difficult for him. So the Lord does use backup support as well. It's not always about being in the forefront, because someone needs to be sometimes like that support. And that is a wonderful thing that you are doing. So can I say thank you to you both for this interview? It's great to see how you both come to know the Lord and share your testimony with us. So we can say bye-bye to Honey. And she's absolutely beautiful. Really beautiful.
I waited 41 years for my first dog. And in the 70s, we had two King Charles Cavalier
Oh, yeah.
Spaniels. And then my sister Faith, who's an atheist, keeper in the place, who'll become a Christian one day. She had lots of dogs. Her last dog was a Bichon Frise, a real bouncy dog and very small dog.
Yeah.
And once she had our Christmas dinner, and my mum was when we first met Karen. That's when a tale to tell.
Oh yes.
The
turkey.
Yeah, yes, and we got Honey on the 25th of April 2023, and she's a part of our family. We'll never look back. I will always have dogs, and I cannot imagine life without Honey now. Anyway, there you are.
No, she's lovely. And I'm sure she's a blessing to you and you're a blessing to her, because she looks so happy and so contented.
She's taken Paul there.
She's beautiful. Thank you, Wills and Carolyn. It's been interesting to hear your story. God bless you
Thanks,
both.
God bless you.
God
Bye
bless.
bye.
Bye for now. Thank you.